Hello, I'm Jason Byrne. I'm a professor of human geography and planning at the University of Tasmania. As you can see from these images, climate change is already impacting us in very particular ways. There's a range of environmental challenges that we now face, including drought, wildfire, biosecurity issues with insect-borne diseases, floods, cyclones, thunderstorms, and other impacts. Climate change impacts, however, do not affect all people the same way. We know that some people are more vulnerable to climate change impacts than others. These include young children and older people who oftentimes have less ability to move as fast as other people. It also includes people who are immigrants and refugees who are new to a place and they might not speak the same language as the place that they've migrated to. People with a disability, people who are renters and don't have secure places where they can stay, people who are sick or infirm, and Aboriginal people. So there's a lot of different people who will be impacted by climate change in particular ways. Now, your question applies to people who are homeless and people who are impoverished, who are poor. It's an excellent question. So homeless people already, we know, do not have access to regular shelter. Now, this means that homeless people could face problems such as extreme temperatures during a heat wave event. If you live at home, you might be able to turn on your air conditioning. But if you're a homeless person, you don't have that luxury. You might need to go to a shopping centre to keep cool, or you might need to find refuge in a cinema or somewhere else like that. Sometimes you might find yourself being turned away and then you're being exposed to very high temperatures. That can make you sick, and in extreme cases, heat wave temperatures can lead to death. Homeless people might also face problems with flooding. Sometimes homeless people take shelter in storm drains and alongside creek beds where they don't get warning that a flood event is coming, and they might find their possessions washed away, and in an extreme circumstance they could drown. Similarly, homeless people who might live in parklands and forested areas could be more exposed to bushfire and may find it much harder to escape because oftentimes they'll be on foot and they won't be able to get away very easily. They might also lose their possessions. Finally, if you're not homeless but you have lower income, you can find it very hard to pay electricity bills for keeping your house cool due to increased temperatures. You might also find that your job is less secure in the future due to climate change impacts. You might not be able to afford insurance in the case of an extreme weather event like a severe storm or a fire or a flood that damages or destroys your house. So climate change will have very particular impacts on people who are marginalised and disadvantaged, and we call this an environmental inequality. So thanks very much, Farn School, grades 4 and 5, Global Goals Action Group, for that excellent question.